Happy Friday. I have an apology to make because I have quite a busy house today. So my children are gaming, my husband is upstairs, he has a very loud voice. So you might hear a little bit of background noise. I do apologise for that. So today I wanted to talk to you about a concept called thought errors. So this is when we have a sentence in our head that we just take to be true, we don't even question it. And some of the time you could do research and find facts to prove this thought to be true, but just because it might be true for some people, is it actually true for you? So for example, I lived the majority of my life believing that breakfast was the most important meal of the day. And if you Google that, you will find lots of evidence to prove that to be true. But I realised that for me, that is actually a thought error. And I hadn't even questioned it. I hadn't even tried not having breakfast to see if the opposite was true. But I no longer have breakfast. I have 2 meals a day and I feel healthier and I've got more energy than what I have ever had in my whole life. So for me, breakfast isn't the most important meal of the day. So we call it a thought error because I had unconditionally programmed myself into believing that thought to be true. And it wasn't until I questioned it that I realised for me, it wasn't true. So another thought that you might have that you've never questioned is sugar, so cake, biscuits, chocolate, it's a treat. It's a treat. And maybe on the very odd occasion, yes, it could be a treat. But is it a treat to feel sick afterwards? Is it a treat to have brain fog, to get irritable, to have spotty skin, to have sleepless nights because of the sugar? And is it a treat to have it multiple times a day? But because you've heard that it's a treat so often, I mean, for me, oh my goodness, I grew up with Mary Poppins hearing a spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down. Like sugar's going to make everything better. But that is a thought error. It is not a treat to put on weight. It is not a treat to be irritable, because that's what sugar does for me. So that is not a treat. And it's not until I questioned it that I realised that that was a thought error. That was a thought error that I had in my head. So what other thoughts might you have? Another thought I think that's quite interesting to explore is how food gives us energy. And yes, when we eat the wholesome, nourishing foods that boost our body, that is energy. Our body needs food as fuel. That's why we eat. But have you noticed how tired you get when you overeat? When you've had a massive roast dinner followed by apple pie and custard, you feel knackered. Like you want to have a doze. Think of Christmas. The amount of people that doze after Christmas dinner because they've eaten so much. That is not energy. That is not fueling our body. Our body actually has to shut down in order to process all of that food. So when you hear food is energy, that's kind of like an excuse then just to eat more. But eating more does not give you energy. It's about eating the food that feels good in your body. And what's good for you might not be good for someone else. So other thoughts might be, nerves are bad. Like if you're going for a job interview, or you're going for a job promotion, or you want to ask for a pay rise, or you're going on a client visit and you really want to impress a new client, having that thought error that I shouldn't be nervous. I shouldn't be nervous. Well, maybe it's okay to be nervous. Experiencing nerves in your body is actually completely harmless. It doesn't actually hurt us. But when we try and avoid it and push it away, that's then where we end up being sort of a version of ourselves that we don't want to be. But when you just allow the nerves to be there and know that actually you're creating them because of a thought you're having, and the thought's probably along the lines of, I'm not going to know what to say, I might look stupid. You will know the sentences that you hear in your head. But actually, when you know that it's okay to be nervous, you are a human being, that is part of our human experience, that thought, I shouldn't be nervous, is a lie. It's a thought error. So I really just want you to consider, like, what thoughts do you hear in your head that you think are fact and that you've never even questioned? Never even questioned. And actually, do you even see them as thoughts? Do you even see them as optional? They're the really sneaky ones. And that's why having a coach is so empowering, because having someone look into your brain and showing you what's going on in your brain gives you the clarity and the awareness that you need in order to manage it. Whereas at the moment you're hearing thoughts and you're just taking them as fact without any question. But they might be lies. They might be thought errors. So I work with overwhelmed mums that are feeling stressed out because they're juggling that work-life balance, and they're going to the fridge, they're going for the chocolate, they're going for the wine and the gin in order to make them feel better. But actually, feeling better, or it'll make me feel better, is another thought error. So when we learn to start to become aware of our mind and how those thoughts are making us feel, now we've got control over it. So I can help you to do that. As your coach, I can help you to see what you can't see. And the effects of that in your life are powerful. If you're not quite ready for that yet, I get it. Not everybody wants to have that power. I'm still nervous of it at times. But what I would advise you to start doing is just writing down what you hear in your head. Just put it onto a piece of paper without judgment, without criticism, without censorship. Just with with compassionate curiosity, with absolute fascination. What am I hearing in my head? And put it all onto a piece of paper. We call that a thought download. You get all the thoughts out of your head onto a piece of paper. Journaling is exactly the same thing. But then from that objective viewpoint, look at what you've written and ask yourself, is that true in the world? It might feel true to you, but feeling true to you is very different to being true in the world. And it might just be that you are currently unconsciously living your life on a base of lies that you don't even know that you're aware of yet. So when we start to look at our sugar cravings and the cravings you have for alcohol, it's like if you get control of your sugar cravings, you can actually get control of your life. Because the same thing is happening regardless of whether you're at work, whether you're at home, whether you're sat on the sofa or sat at your desk. Your brain is having thoughts that if you haven't questioned are guiding your life completely unconsciously. Thought errors, they're lies a lot of the time. For good intention, our brain wants to keep us safe, but they could be really holding you back from the life that you deserve to have, or the life that you crave and the life that you want to have. So I can help you, and I would love to help you to get control of your sugar cravings and get control of your life. Just send me a little message and let's chat. Have an amazing week, and I'll speak to you next week. Bye.